Hello to everyone and the internet, and you are watching The Globalist. Alright folks, it's an interesting day today. We went several days without any real sunshine, and all of a sudden, boom, sun. And today I just have a lot of energy. Human beings, we as animals, we are mammals. And a fact of mammal anatomy is that weather affects moods. So right now, today, I've got a lot of energy because we went several days without sun, and then boom, sun. And so I'm kind of jazzed up. So if I act a little nervous and high energy today, with the fidgeting especially, that's why that is. Because I have to go for like a long, vigorous walk or something just to burn some of it off. So I'm wound up a little tight. But boy, did I discover some juicy stuff for the news report today. You guys are going to love this. So, France has completely shut down. Not just the government, the entire country has completely shut down, and there's riots all over the place. Particularly in Paris over increases in fuel prices. And no, this will not be reported. At least, it was downgraded in mainstream media. It was not. It was reported on, but it was downgraded. They didn't talk about the whole government shutting down. They just talked about the main riot, which the primary riot, the big one, with one guy dead or girl, and 47 or child, and 47 injured. One dead and 47 injured. See, I tell you, I was going to be nervous today. I got so much energy. Woo! And it was due to fuel tax protests. This will, of course, lead to eventual anarchy. And in a situation of anarchy, the only thing keeping people from doing bad things would, of course, be their moral values. And the French moral values are fascinating, shall we say. But now, let me play you the Thulian perspective video from today, that being Varg Vikernes, his take on the whole situation. Just give this a listen.
Roundabouts. You're supposed to drive around them, aren't you? But today I drove across one. Right in front of 20 or so French policemen. What happened?
Today the French government raised the taxes for diesel, and the French people are protesting by shutting France down completely. That's the text in the video. Posted there by his wife Marie Cachette. As you can see, they have done a good job. This is the main road to Jerusalem, a nearby town. There are no cars out on a Saturday noon. On a Saturday noon, where people are usually out of the house on the weekend, almost all the roundabouts are completely blocked by angry locals in yellow vests. The police are there too. This is how the entries to the highways look like. Sorry, the text is bad. This is how the highways look.
Det var en relativt stille motorväg.
English is not Marie's first language, clearly. Alright, come on, Varg, let's hear your wonderful voice. The organizers of this protest have encouraged people to use the yellow reflex vests they have in cars as their symbol. Vest visible in their cars to show support for the protesters. Yeah, France is in complete chaos right now. I came across a roundabout that is not blocked. What the fuck? The freaking police have a yellow vest visible in their car, parked as if on display. Bad boys. Bad boys. You a Jew, Varg? You don't seem like a Jew. If Varg complains complains about me using his footage, I'll apologize and remove it if I have to. I'll work out a deal with him, but I'm pretty sure it'll go under the radar. I'm just using this to aid in talking about this French situation. That would be the sound of his UAZ, by the way, in his car. So I apologize for that.
About those policemen who saw me driving over the roundabout instead of around it. They smiled at me, gave me the thumbs up, and I drove away. That was it.
The roundabout was blocked, and I don't think driving in reverse through the roundabout is super wise, so I had to improvise, and I returned 2 minutes late. That's just crazy. Right now there are no laws in France. There's nothing. People are just doing whatever. France is completely broken down over the fuel tax. This is why we should end taxation. We should slash spending and then end taxation. With everything shut down, how did I get around? Says Varg, asks in text. Let's find out. His signature line, let's find out. I enjoy Varg's channel quite a bit. His perspective on life is very interesting. In the countryside, they simply deny access to towns and supermarkets and main roads. Rough ride through the French backcountry. In Paris, there are violent riots. Yeah, I already mentioned those earlier, with 47 injured in one day. This shit's crazy. At least one person has been killed and more than 100 are injured. More than 100, I only saw 47. Well, 47 confirmed. So I just wanted to tell you that this is happening in France right now. People are pissed and fed up with the robbery of the poor by the increasingly smaller group of rich people. I recommend you check out your own MSM to see if they tell you anything about this. If they don't, I suspect they don't, because they don't want you to get any ideas or inspired by the French people. The French people really did shut down France today, so it can be done. By the French, anyhow. Crazy, right? And you know this is true because literally a guy who lives there was telling you about this. So, are we headed for another French Revolution? Hopefully one less bloody than the first two. So, our media, our mainstream media did report on it, but they made an effort to try and make it sound that it wasn't as bad as it really was. They tried to, what's the word I'm trying to look for here? They were being reductionists. They were reducing the scale and making it seem less severe. But here we have Varg telling us that, you know, it's a lot worse than it sounds. So yeah, that's pretty crazy, but it's actually kind of exciting in a weird sort of way. Moving on. A woman in Chechnya, Russia, I'm assuming I'm saying that right. So Russians, please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Chechnya blows herself up near a police station. She was apparently a female suicide bomber. There wasn't much detail on her identity other than she apparently came from the neighboring area of Dagestan. There were no casualties other than herself. The Russian police are amazingly efficient and have been since the Soviet Union. In fact, they have their own martial art that was developed during the late 70s. Called, what was it called? I know it really well, too. Sambo. I think it was Sambo. Yeah. It's sort of a mix of judo and kickboxing. It's actually pretty incredible. They invented it to deal with rioting crowds. And they still use it, and the Russian police are still brutally efficient, even under the new Russian Federation. So while that it does make it easier for them to abuse people, it also does make it easier for them to deal with violent crimes like this. So, yay? Ish? Either way, she was the only casualty, so good for Russia. Moving on. The U.S. Coast Guard has seized $500 million worth of cocaine. Ain't no lie, ain't no lie, ain't no lie, cocaine. Oh yeah. $500 million worth. With 15 drug trafficking vessels. With the arrest of 49 suspects. With a trial set for southern Florida. It was found off the coast near there. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Drug trafficking. Never a dull moment with these people. That is a lot of fucking cocaine, man. That is a lot. Now, mind you, most drugs, particularly marijuana, I don't care. If you want to get high, go for it. I only ask that you not blow hot smoke into your lungs. But if you want to get high, the best way to do it would be to get some edibles or drink some, like, drug-coated tea. But don't blow hot smoke in your lungs. Not unless you want COPD. Which is a horrible, horrible way to die. But cocaine is probably one of the few drugs I'm just like, maybe not. Because that shit does have some addictive qualities and can literally ruin your life. Cocaine and heroin are among the worst, especially heroin. So I'm actually pretty glad that the Coast Guard caught this. $500 million worth, holy shit. Moving on. Trump has predicted that Nancy Pelosi will be the Speaker of the House, claiming that she deserves that role in a by and large Democratic House of Reps with a minority of Republicans for the first time since a while. Trump says he will help Nancy Pelosi achieve this. That could be interesting. That could be very interesting. It's like, how will he help exactly? Is he gonna do shit under the table without anyone noticing and be dirty? Is that even in Trump's MO? Or is he going to, I don't know, maybe just emphasize her, give her a little push, give her a nudge? We'll find out in the coming weeks. Moving on. Excuse me. Trump is also doing a partial government shutdown. Only partial, not what's going on in France right now with a full shutdown. Trump doing a partial shutdown for wall funding. Now, what's even really surprising is the Democratic House of Reps is actually being somewhat cooperative. They've actually given a little bit of money to it. Something like $1.5 billion, which is surprising. It's like, I've gotten a few different figures on that. A few different figures, but the $1.5 billion was the most consistent. Right? Most of them were around that figure, so I figured that was probably the best figure to throw out there. That's still not enough in terms of wall building, I think, but it's a start. And man, Trump's got balls. Balls on him. Clinton pulled the same bullshit when he balanced the budget back in the 90s twice and shut down the government twice. And mind you, Trump's already shut down the government once before for immigration. And is doing it again. I think this is a good thing. I think we need that wall. And the soldiers on the border are there, and Trump was talking about that again, saying how they're building beautiful fences. It's a different type of fence. It's an effective fence. We are protecting our southern border with our military. You know, they are very efficient. Our U.S. forces are very efficient. We will keep the migrants out. I feel sorry for the migrants, but helping them is not going to help us. We have our own problems to worry about. And just because they're lesser in scale does not make them not problems. A problem is a problem. Moving on. A U.S.-led airstrike kills about 40 people in ISIS-held territory, and it's apparently mostly women and children. Yeah. Yep, that's us in the Middle East. That's our brutally efficient U.S. military. We're doing a wonderful job on our southern border, but we're doing horrifying in the Middle East. I hate our fucking government. I actually really like Trump, but the rest of the government can go suck a dick. They really can. They can just go suck a dick. Pull out of the Middle East. We are not doing anything of benefit. We are not of utility. We are just fucking shit up. Pull out. I'm sick of this war on terror where we create the terror. We are the terrorists. And many soldiers in our own military come home and say that exact same thing. And let me just quote Ron Paul. Veterans Day is a sham. It used to be Armistice Day, the celebration of the end of World War I. And that's what it should have been, the celebration of the end of war. We have since been living in a war culture where war is celebrated. And veterans are celebrated when they shouldn't be. When they were manipulated and lied to into going into this horrible environment and do these horrible things. I am so sick of modern politics. And I want a libertarian government. I want a libertarian United States. So bad. But I know we won't ever get it. So I'm just hoping that, to some extent, I'm just hoping that our society collapses and then we can build back up from the ashes with a new, better system. I can only hope. But until then, I'm going to keep voting for Trump because he's made our economy look great. He's keeping us safe from these crazy migrants. I disagree with him that there's, ISIS and MS-13 and all these other elements in there because there's no evidence of that. It's possible, but we don't know. Trump is the best part of the government right now, which that is not very encouraging when you really think about it. Anyway, that's all, folks. Cheers. I'm gonna have to go for a walk later. A vigorous walk.